In this video, I want to give an overview of time-variant controllers, TVCs. These are one of the 5 types of synthesis modules. In order to talk about TVCs though, let's first expand our conversation a little bit outwards. Let's think about some broader ideas. In music and sound design, change over time is extremely important. With sound, time is our canvas. Unlike a painting, unless time passes, sound can't happen. Even at its most fundamental level, a vibration is a change over time. Now, if we just play the same frequency at the same amplitude, we get tired of it quickly, and with no relationships to anything, the sound isn't very expressive. When we think about music, we think about notes that change. Even in drone music, the timbre changes over time, and there are different elements at play to give the piece life over the course of its length. On the smaller level too, individual notes can even go through a change of timbre, amplitude, or even pitch. So, in synthesizing interesting and engaging sounds, it's important for us to think about how they change over time. Another word for change induced over time is modulation. Now, just a quick warning that we're not yet talking about modulation synthesis, we're just talking about modulation. Modulation will come from a change in control. So we can manually modulate a filter just by turning a knob that changes the cutoff frequency. When we turn that knob, we're generating a control signal. Control signals in themselves aren't sound, they're not vibrations. So it can be useful to be able to identify in your synthesizer what's creating a control signal and what's creating an audio signal. Some systems don't really make a distinction between what is an audio signal and what is a control signal. In Kima, for example, a signal is a signal. In most analog systems, there's just the voltage going through. But since control signals aren't designed to be listened to, if you run them directly to the output, you might not hear what you expect or anything at all. So, if we change a knob over time, we're doing some time-variant control. We're changing the values of another module, perhaps a generator or a modifier, by a signal that varies over time, that control signal that's varying over time. Now, by turning a knob, we're manually introducing modulation. We're manually inducing this time-variant control. But sometimes it's not practical to use a fader to introduce change in a parameter. 3 situations I can think of when you want a change that's faster than something you can do by hand. If you have multiple changes happening at once and you don't have enough hands or fingers to accomplish them. Or when a very high degree of precision is needed, when you need to get to a precise value and you're not able to do that by hand. So in these situations, rather than using manual time-variant control, we should use a time-variant controller, a TVC. So these are synthesis modules that generate a control signal to induce a change in another module. Back to our 5 types of synthesis modules. Remember, generators are generating an audio signal, and then our time-variant controllers are generating these control signals. When we talked about generators, we talked about oscillators, which generate a periodic waveform, a periodic audio signal, and non-periodic generators like a sampler that generate a non-periodic waveform, a non-periodic audio signal. Similarly, with TVCs, there are 2 main categories too, periodic ones and non-periodic ones. The periodic ones are LFOs, low frequency oscillators. The low here is to say that they're generally sub-audio. Again, they're generating a control signal, not an audio signal. They tend to be below the range of human hearing, below 20 Hz. And there are non-periodic time-variant controllers, envelope generators, such as the ADSR, attack, decay, sustain, release. I'll go into both of these more in my next videos, but for now, time-variant controllers are generating these control signals. They're going to give us filter sweeps, they're going to help us change pitch, they're going to help us change amplitude, they're going to induce that modulation, that change over time. Envelope generators are going to do this in a non-periodic way, and LFOs are going to create a periodic control signal.